The sponsor of today's episode is Chain Nut Apparel. You can find them on Instagram and Twitter at Chain Nut Apparel. They have incredible t-shirts like the one I'm wearing now and many other colors too. Also, they're starting a new hoodie range, so make sure you check them out. Hey guys, welcome to another installment of the HIGH-LOW. It's me, Mohammed, joined by Elvisi Dusha today from the London City Royals. He's here to talk about the trophy, his experience with the team this year. We're also going to have an interview with Wille Clayton and Mike Tuck from the Sheffield Sharks, and a lot more stuff going around the league. Hey Elvisi, welcome to the set of the HIGH-LOW. How you doing? You good?
I'm good. Thank you lot for having me.
Thanks for joining us, man. So, you have brought your missus in today.
For sure.
Saw all of your social media.
Wifey, yeah.
So how was that game? How was the experience for you winning your first actual?
It was good. It's
trophy?
been a long time coming for me. You know how long I've been trying to chase one of these down for. So to finally get one feels surreal, but it just feels like there's a lot more to come with it too. You know, just the start. But it was good. It was a hell of a game. Lions, of course, top of the league, so they gave us a hell of a game. It was a good battle. Went down to overtime. First ever game that's been, for some silverware gone into OT, which was another good thing for British basketball. And it was a good game as a whole, a great experience, you know, going up night before, spending a few days up there, getting really prepared. So it was really good to come away with the win as well. I think that kind of just made it all that much better, the whole preparation and everything.
I feel you, man. The actual game, it was a good advertisement for British basketball in terms of two great teams. Both teams had about, I think, 20 British players?
21
British players.
21 British players on the floor.
Crazy, man.
Court, yeah.
And you had a great game. The coach bigged you up in the post-game interview as well.
Big shout out.
How do you feel about that?
No, it was good, man. It was good. I think everyone played well. I mean, it was good to hear them words come out of coach's mouth. You know, it's, for every player, it's a confidence booster. Yes. So it was good to hear. But I think everyone really wanted that game. You know, we spoke a lot about our preparation for that game, how our aura was much different for that game than it has been for other games. So if we can kind of consistently stay at that level, I think we'll be okay. And credit to everyone, man. Credit to the fans for coming up, to the guys for stepping up. I think everyone everyone really bought into what we were doing.
Talk me through this free throw celebration.
Have you seen it?
Who made it? Who made it up?
Orlan sort of implemented it, and then we all kind of bought into it. It's just another way to just keep the bench active, keep us going, and at the same time, and the fans have also gotten as well. So now at our home games, the fans tend to get up as well. So it's just a nice little thing to make sure we're all engaged, and no one else does it. So.
I think they need to make it a GIF online.
You reckon?
It's dope, man. This episode's player spotlight is on Wille Clayton of the Manchester Giants. So VC, you've played against him, of course, a couple times. As everyone knows, looking at his stats, he has numerous 20 games, 20 and 20 games.
Animal.
How is there any way to stop it? You just can't. Is he too strong?
First of all, he's done stuff that he's broken. I don't know even how many records. You probably have to go check Daniel Rutledge's Twitter for that. But he's
a beast, man.
Yeah, he really is a beast, man. I've not seen somebody rebound that. He had what did he have the other night against? He had
20 and 25.
Come on, man.
And that's it's easy for him. He's done it a few times now.
I don't know. Against us, I feel like we matched up okay with him, but he still kind of dominates the rebounding. He's averaging 14 or 15 rebounds.
Yeah, 15. I was looking at earlier, 15, about 15.3
per game. Come on, man. That's you got.
It's crazy.
You got big time. He gives his team a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? If you got someone who can crash the boards like that, you get second chance efforts. Back to back. So. He helps that team a lot, big time. He'll be worth a lot of money next year. He'll be worth a lot of money next year for sure.
He's looking to secure that bag next year.
I like what he does still. Yeah.
Him and his dog. Takes his dog everywhere. I love it though.
I've seen it.
Takes his dog everywhere.
I've seen it. I'm not an animal guy, but I see him when they came to the palace.
Not an animal guy whatsoever, man.
They came to the palace with his dog. I respect it though, man. That's big time.
He'll be worth a lot of money. If Manchester don't pay him, I'm sure somebody else will, man.
He will, yeah. Nah, he's dominant. You get what I'm saying? That's a big thing to do, to dominate the ball, especially against some of the bigs in this league this year as well. He's put on a tremendous display, and not just the rebounding, the block shots.
Yes.
He's had some big defensive plays.
And he's scoring as well, so it's not just the rebounds, because he's getting 20 and 25, 25 and 21. Like, I was looking on the website, and he has the most 2-point field goals in the league.
See what I'm saying? And he gives his team a chance to win. And he's got great players around him. Like Manchester's got a really good team with him inside. Come on, that's
special, man. We were lucky enough to get an interview with Wille Clayton after his dominant performance against the Leicester Riders. Marcel Abbott interviewed him after the game. Check it out.
Hello, I'm with Wille Clayton of the Manchester Giants. What a shift you put in today. How did it feel to put in that shift?
It was great because we got the win, and this win helped us get to the playoffs. You know, it's one step closer to the playoffs, so I'm glad we got the win.
Yeah, well, I think now we are placed 6th as Phoenix are losing to the Sharks. Okay. How does it feel to be in that position?
Well, like I said, our main goal is to make it to the playoffs. So getting this win today was definitely one step closer to getting to the playoffs. So I'm happy that we got the win. We got to press on. We got to continue to keep building wins so we can continue to get closer to the playoffs, and we just got to keep fighting hard, go back to the drawing tables and practice and keep winning.
Good. You were instrumental in this win with a last-second block. Right. How did it feel to make that block to win the game?
It felt great. Like I said, you know, my teammates, we all fought hard that game, and give credit to everybody who played the game from my team, and we went out there and we fought hard.
Okay, thank you, Will.
You're welcome.
So we have Mike Tuck here, you know, BBL vet. He's got hella rings and things. He's been kind enough to do this Skype call with us. So how you doing today, Mike?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but we finally made the Skype call happen.
Yeah, you know.
But like I was saying before when I was off air, just a quick shout out to you guys, man. I'm really happy to see more and more things like this happening within England and for the British Basketball League. You know, we need guys like you, independents, with these type of podcasts, putting out this type of content. It really helps the league, and I'm really happy to see it happening. So big ups to you guys. Appreciate
that, man. So how's your year at Sheffield been this season?
It's been an interesting one, man. We've had to deal with a lot of adversity, I think. We've had to deal with injuries. We've had to deal with changing of players, guys leaving the team, guys quitting basketball, all types of stuff. Yeah, so we had our two big guys, Matthew Don and what's his name? Anyways, our two of our big guys had to left the club earlier this season and basically retired for personal reasons. So when we started with a amazing front line, and then it kind of dropped down to just me and Rob Marsden. So we were really thin at the forward spots from then on. We switched out. We had a rookie point guard. We switched him at the beginning of the season for AC Collins, and then we decided to make another switch. We brought in another big. We replaced AC with Mackie McKnight, who was on the team last season. So all the things that we're doing have just been like a big adjustment in terms of that. And then I actually broke my hand on the 28th of January. So I've been out for 6 weeks. This is the longest I've ever had to sit out with the Sharks in my pro career. So it's been like challenging for me, and just trying to stay positive, and then also just kind of still be a leader from the sidelines and that type of thing. But yeah, it hasn't been easy. And like, we started the season really good. I think we won 10 in a row or 9 in a row. And then obviously all this adversity happened. And now we're 12-12. And we're sitting at the 5th or 6th spot in the league, tied for 5th in the league right now. So even though with all that adversity, we're still in the top half of the league, and we still have a few games to play. So hopefully we can make a run towards the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. With all the adversity you guys have faced, all the difficulties, you guys are still in the playoff hunt. So
yeah,
pretty impressive. Because I didn't even know any of that happened, like all that stuff you just said.
Exactly. And it's just like, the playoffs this year is just like crazy. Like when you look at the league, like it's like the 4 spot through to like the 9th spot are all within 2-3 wins of losses of each other. So this is very similar to last season, where like this playoff hunt is going to be going down to like the last game of the season. So it's exciting to play in, but it's also nerve wracking as the captain of the team and as like a player. And like I've never missed a playoff series since I've been on the team. We got to make things happen. But you know, with me coming back from this injury, we got 2 new guys getting like gelling into the team now. So I'm excited moving forward.
So you know when you first came to the league, was it in 2009?
Yeah, 2009, 2010 season.
Did you see yourself staying this long?
No. I had been bouncing around Europe a little bit before then, and then I was playing for its team in France in the N1 league. They made some changes, so instead of flying back home to Canada, I told them to fly me to London, because I had a friend living in London at the time, and I also have the British passport, and I was like, I'll just go stay there and wait for another team to crop up. And while I was there, I contacted the Sheffield Sharks. They had contacted me over the summer, but I had already signed my contract in France. And they asked me to come up for a trial, to come up to one of their practices. Came up, had a great practice. One of their big men had just got injured the week before, so it was like almost like meant to be type of situation. And then after the practice session, me and Coach Lyons went away, and he was like, "Yeah, we want to offer you a contract." And so I went back down to London, got all my bags, and I came back up, and I've been stuck up here ever since.
I mean, it worked out. You've won 2 cups, a trophy, a playoff finals. You were MVP of the playoff finals.
Yeah.
You know, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, that first season we were there, I think the 2nd week or 3rd week I was here, we were in the semis of the Cup versus Leicester. We won that. I had a really good game. And then a month later, we were in the Cup final, and we won the Cup. And I was like, oh, man, this is like, you know, I only like my 2nd, 3rd year pro, and I was like, I already won a piece of silverware, and I was like, I could get used to this. Then I signed back the next season, and we had a really good team again. We won the Cup again. We went to the playoff final, but we lost. So then from there, I was just hooked. I was like, oh man, I want this silverware. Like I want to stay. I want to be a big part of this club. And then, you know, just made it easier to keep saying yes to coming back. I met my girlfriend. You know, we moved in together. So, you know, Sheffield's been great to me, and you know, I'm proud to call it home now. You know.
That's amazing, man. So, seeing as you've been in the league for a long time, have you seen any changes from the fanfare from back then to now?
I guess Sheffield's always pretty consistent. You know, our fans are always pretty good. I think it also depends on what kind of season you're having, if you're winning, if you're losing. It can be very fair weather sometimes. In terms of the league, I guess it would depend on the team. But I think overall, I have seen a growth within the fans here. And definitely with teams like Leicester and Newcastle, where, you know, they're moving into their own venues, and it's giving them a bigger budget to do more things. They have more freedom to do more things. And I think in terms of that, the league is heading in the right direction for sure. So
you're on Sky Sports now. You're a big deal. You're an NBA. How's that been treating you?
Yeah, it's been great, man. I got the call from Sky Sports probably about a month ago. Last year in the BBL, I had been doing some sideline stuff for Free Sport, just some, like, you know, studio pundit stuff and on the sidelines at games. And then I guess they had seen a little bit of that. And before the All-Stars tournament this year, I had got contacted by them, and, you know, met one of the producers. So it just kind of one thing led to another, and they said we'll keep in touch with you if anything pops up. And then obviously Sky's just signed a 4-year deal with the NBA.
Yes, they did.
So, which is huge. I absolutely love that. I'm so happy that, you know, the NBA, the best league in the world, is back on Sky. So I think that'll have a trickle down effect for the BBL as well. I think, you know, more people watching basketball, the better. And obviously Sky is the biggest platform for sports within the UK. So I think it's a great thing. And then also, you know, your boy will be on it, you know, most weeks, hopefully. So, but yeah, no, it's been great, man. It's been the first experience was, you know, a little bit. I was in shell shock a little bit because, you know, you walk in and it's the studio is just absolutely amazing, and there's these giant cameras pointing at you. But you know, I've been in the league for 10 years, and I've done this type of TV stuff for a few years now, so I'm pretty comfortable in front of the camera. So. It's been good, and I'm a big fan of the NBA, and so I always keep tabs on what's going on. So it's nice, it's cool to be able to talk about it in front of the camera, and then, you know, with other studio guests that are like, you know, we last week they had on Spencer Haywood, who's like a NBA Hall of Famer, and just got to meet a guy like that where I've never met him before, you know. So I even got to put on his NBA ring, or his Hall of Fame ring, which is just like unreal experience.
That's out of this world.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, you do have a British passport, and you did represent England in the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
From looking at it, from looking at your Instagram and stuff, it looked like you guys were having the time of your life. How was that experience?
It was amazing, man. It was amazing. It was like, you know, a once in a lifetime experience, and something that I'll never forget. Probably the only downside to it was some of the basketball. Obviously, we underperformed, I thought, and you know, most of the guys on the team thought. Most of the guys kind of came away disappointed, and I think I will always have, you know, like a bad taste in my mouth from that trip, just because I thought that the team that we had there, I thought we underperformed, and I thought we could have done you know, a lot better. But in terms of like the actual experience, it was just like unreal. Like I'm such a lucky and blessed guy to number one be asked,
yeah,
and then for two to be picked on the team, and then they made me captain of the team as well, which was like a huge honor for myself and my family. And then to go down and we, you know, to be involved in the whole Commonwealth experience, like it's just unreal. Like it's the second largest multi-sport event after the Olympics, and it's huge. And when you get to the actual athletes village, like that is just like an amazing experience, walking around with all these just like top world-class athletes everywhere, and you're in the cafeteria and there's like 30 different types of food because they're trying to keep everybody happy in there, and you just, you know, you're walking around, you can just like you feel the energy from it all. And then they give you tickets, so you get to go see different events. So we were at like track events and all different types of stuff. So it was dope. And then we you know, out on the town a couple nights, and we bumped into Usain Bolt.
No way.
Just like crazy stuff like that I'll always remember. And then, you know, obviously the location in Australia, down on the Gold Coast, me and Andy Thompson were out surfing at Surfers Paradise, you know, a couple of times. So big shout out to Tomo up on the longboard.
That sounds amazing, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
So when you're actually hooping, do you have a favorite shoe to play in?
Oh, I'm always Kobe's, man. I always have to have Kobe's. I don't know. Yeah, like I got my first year pro. I was always like wearing high tops and stuff, and then that's like right when kind of the low tops were just kind of started to come out, like that late 2000 and all that. So there was a big man on my team named Jordan Collins. Okay. Shout out to Jordan Collins. He went to NC State, and he had on the first pair of Kobe lows. And
Kobe fours.
Yeah, like the Kobe ones or whatever. Yeah, and no, maybe not the ones, but the first pair that had like.
Well, it was the fours.
It was the fours. Yeah. And I was like, man, are those gonna aren't you gonna like twist your ankle? And he's like, nah, young fella. He's like, you're good. You got this. So So I bit the bullet, and then the next summer I think I got the 5s or the 6s. And then from then on, I've just like always always Kobe's like the lows. I had a pair of Durant's, and I wore them in 2016, but not as comfy. I like this something about the Kobe's. They always fit good. They always feel good. They're lightweight, and then like I like that ankles, I like to be loose and not have anything wrapped around my ankles. So it's always my favorite shoe.
You've been a pro for a long time. Do you have any go-to moves that you like to go to?
I think like if you ask my teammates, my patented move would just be like on the post, and then a little shimmy, turn over the right shoulder, fade away. That's always my
That's why you wear the Kobe's. Makes sense now.
Yeah.
Full circle.
The Kobe shimmy.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's probably my patented, but I don't know. I've always tried to be like a blue collar, hard working player and set the example for my team and just kind of be the hustle guy and the mouthpiece who's trying to get everybody going. And I can play a little inside. I can shoot the ball from outside. So trying to do a little bit of everything, be a stretch four, and just lead by example.
That's great, man. Favorite player growing up?
Favorite player growing up? Let's see. When I was real young, it was Shawn Kemp, just because that dude could fly, man. It was just like physical. He was taking people out. Then the Raptors came to Toronto in '95. So when Vince came into town, that's when like everything started really heating up with basketball, and that's when everyone started really getting into basketball. So Vince Carter is definitely a huge one. And I mean still an inspiration to this day. The guy is like 40, 41, 42, still playing in the league, and he's saying he's going to play again next year.
Yeah, he is.
You see like the videos of him, he's still doing like reverse 360 dunks and like all this like crazy stuff. So he's an inspiration to me, right, as a kid, and then even now still me, old man, playing in the BBL. But yeah, those two were definitely ones. I mean, I'm an older guy. I grew up in the '90s, like '80s, '90s. So Jordan was always a big one as well. But yeah, Vince and Shawn Kemp were probably my two top ones as kids.
When Vince came to the Raptors, did everything really change? Because I was reading some reports and stuff about how everything changed in Canada because he was just doing incredible stuff.
Yeah, if you have time, there's a great movie on Netflix called The Carter Effect.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. So, and it kind of explains everything that happened, but it's like everything is so true. Like the whole, like basketball was like, people were playing it in Canada and stuff, but it wasn't like as huge. And then in '95, when the Raptors came, like everything like really started blowing up around that. And then Vince obviously got drafted in '98. And then from there, like he was Rookie of the Year. 2 years later in 2000, we're like in the Eastern Conference Finals. Like it was just like crazy how like the team went from like this little team that was, not their first 2 years, they weren't great, and, bottom of the league. And then all of a sudden, boom, like Vince came. It was like, it blew up. And then obviously the effect of that, which they talked about in the Carter effect, is like 20 years later, you've got Andrew Wiggins is drafted #1 player in the NBA. And he would obviously probably born around the same time that Vince showed up in Toronto. So it's just like it was a whole trickle down effect. And now you look at Toronto now is a hotbed for basketball players, especially, high school players and stuff. And it's, it's a huge city and very similar to London, where it's like a melting pot, and there's lots of, Europeans, Jamaicans, Caribbean people, Africans, like so. And I think the Raptors helped, make that basketball explosion happen. And then all these kids from all these different backgrounds, where basketball is a big deal. Like, they had to have a platform and a forum to kind of show it. So basketball right now, basketball in Toronto right now is just booming. It's just like crazy. So yeah, and the Raptors were a big thing to do with that. And Vince Carter was probably the main reason, because of everything he did. And that 2000 dunk competition was just like best one of all time, like unreal. So that was like,
Oh, special.
Yeah, real special.
So Mike, last question. If it wasn't basketball, what would you be doing?
Whew, if it wasn't basketball, what would I be doing? I don't know, probably digging ditches in Toronto somewhere. Basketball has done a lot for me, man. Like if I don't know, basketball's kept me out of trouble. You know, it helped me get an education. It helped me, you know, go and see the world, and it's brought me here, and I've met so many people through it. So basketball's been a huge thing. But if I wasn't playing, obviously, I do like doing like the marketing and digital media and graphic design, those type of things, and that's kind of some of the stuff that I'm doing for the Sharks right now. So yeah, I guess that would be something in marketing probably. Yeah.
That sounds solid, man.
Yeah.
Very solid. Marketing is very cool, especially in the climate that we live in, anyway.
Yeah, here it's huge now. It's just crazy how the evolution of it over like the last like 20 years, 30 years is just like it's just unreal. Like, and even just like with you guys in this platform right now, like, you know, 10, 20 years ago, you guys probably wouldn't be able to do this. We need a studio and da 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 da. And now, you know, we're doing it over Skype, and it's so easy to, like, you know, curate content and get this type of stuff out and create your own platforms and your own channels and you know, get your voice heard.
Exactly. Just want to say a big thanks for doing this, Mike. I am probably going to see you at your games on the weekend. You know, God willing. Best of luck on the weekend.
Go Sharks.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Good luck, man.
Cheers.